What's going on, everybody? At Elite Fitness today in Roanoke, Virginia, getting to throw down a little bit of chest and shoulders. Want to say happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And it is Black Week this week, so there's tons of saving opportunities over at Core Nutritionals, guys. Use code MadisonV for savings over there. Get your pre-workout, get your protein powder, get all your essential needs for your fitness journey and your goals. Much love, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your day. What's going on, everybody? Another training video going down at Elite Fitness today. This is Thanksgiving Day here, push day, some chest and shoulders. Super grateful for the owner over there, man. He was letting me come in there again. Went in there Wednesday to train, and then he had messaged me and said, you're more than welcome to come in and train Thanksgiving Day if you'd like to. So took that opportunity to go up there again. And the hamstring session was so crazy Wednesday. That's why you see me starting out here with adductors and abductors before the chest workout, because I was so taxed from the RDLs and all the other hinging movements from that day that I moved the adductors and abductors to the beginning of this workout. But really love this gym. It's like old school vibes. Autographed pictures everywhere on the walls. Bodybuilding trophies you can see behind me right there in the case. Super dope. Grungy. Everyone's yelling. Old school equipment. Yeah, you can't beat it, man. The vibes. You go in there and you're just immediately, you want to train hard. Everyone's training hard. Everyone's kind of, bringing that energy to like help push one another, it seems. And that was only my second day training in there, and I feel like everyone was just like happy to have somebody in there training hard, so it was cool. I'm on this Nautilus adductor abductor combo. This thing is super smooth. Cannot beat this thing. This is my first time ever using it, and definitely probably one of my favorite ones, just because you can get in that shortened range on the adduction so well. You can really get a nice squeeze on it. And then you can get a huge stretch here on abductors as well. Love this piece. Just looking for a big stretch. Nice locked in, controlled movement the whole way through on everything here. Just trying to make sure I finish those reps all the way, get that full contraction on the shortened range. And training is feeling great here lately, but just talking to Anson a little bit, and man, the joints are pretty beat up still, or getting beat up, they feel. Almost feels as if I'm still in like contest prep. The joints are just so hammered, like elbows, wrists, knees, everything, but strength is feeling good, so it's an interesting spot to be. So with that being said, some things have been changed to the health phase protocol. Testosterone has remained the same is where it's at, and then a tiny bit of nandrolone has been added in as well to try to get some joint recovery and just lubrication and things like that, so I can continue to train through this health phase. Dosages are extremely low. I'm only using 140 milligrams of that, just for like a, not really looking for an anabolic effect, more so looking for a joint lubrication effect, essentially, so I can continue to train pretty hard through this health phase, because essentially anabolics are low, so I feel a lot of improvements or tissue can be held. Improvements can really be made, to be honest with you, through this phase, just from the training. So that's what I'm really after, but also tissue can be held. All these things can be maintained or improved just through the training stimulus. So that's why I want to be able to continue to train hard and train pretty heavy and just recover the joint health. I think E2 was just crashed for so long through the prep. Equipoise being in there at the beginning and maybe being dosed a little bit too high in comparison to my testosterone. So I think I was just in a low E2 state for a while. So it's kind of taken my body some time to essentially get estrogen back online. Being in a health phase, I'm not using high amounts of testosterone. So I feel like that is kind of some of the problem there, with the joint recovery and things like that. And so, yeah, that's my main reason for using a low dose of MPP. Was potentially going to use the Decadurabolin, but I assumed and figured MPP would be a little bit better just for the time being because one, the Deca that I actually have is dosed at 500 milligrams per milliliter, so that would be really hard to dose low enough for what I want in the health phase. And then also, if I wanted to pull it out, I can with the MPP, and it'll be out quickly. You know what I'm saying, with a short half-life. So that's kind of my thinking there. And I know some people will say that's absolutely stupid, but in the grand scheme of total dosages and what I've used and what I'm using, that's nothing. That is truly a recovery phase, and I've had clean labs with much higher dosing, closer to the 2 gram mark. So I feel like I'm in clear waters there with that, and with the goals that I have at hand at being an IFBB professional bodybuilder, and winning a national level show this coming up year. I feel like that's not something that's too far-fetched or extreme to be doing, essentially for like a little bridge period before I actually go into a real off-season and growth phase. My first one being that. Never actually had a proper off-season or growth phase. I don't like calling it off-season. I'll call it an improvement season, where I'm continuing to increase calories and all that stuff. I've always been in a deficit, so I'm super excited for this health phase, or this push-up phase, and that's why I'm really trying to get everything on board 100%, but still maintain this training during all this time. I don't want to just take off from the gym and, cut volume way down or anything like that. I want to still kind of improve during this time. Here you see with the Star Trek Pec Fly, though. I love this thing. I've also never used this until you see right here, and it feels absolutely amazing. It's super smooth. Just the way that, I don't know, something about the way it tracks. It's like there's just no resistance except the weight stack. You don't feel any like grinding or clanking or clinging or anything like that from the cables or anything rubbing. It's like a low friction machine, I'll say, but you still get all that contraction and stimulus you need on the pecs. Absolutely love this thing. I've really been focused on sitting a lot higher on these pec flies so that it forces me to open those shoulders and pull those shoulders all the way back. It essentially takes them out of the movement. You can see here, I'm finishing the movement and my shoulders are behind my pecs. They're never up forward or over top of my pecs or in front of my pecs at the finish of the movement. Something to keep in mind, guys, when you're doing your pec flies. Where are your shoulders finishing at in reference to your actual chest? Your chest should be finishing the movements, not your shoulders. Same thing here. See, those shoulders are behind the pecs, essentially. Not literally behind them, but you get what I mean here. Yeah, the goal is to probably do one like warm-up show this coming up year and then go into a national level show. Potentially the one that's in Pennsylvania. I think that's North Americans. So I think I'm going to probably shoot for North Americans depending on the date of that. If that lines up pretty well with my timeline and gives me enough time to make improvements, that's going to be the plan. Go to North Americans. It's a little bit closer for me. And then go from there. And if the timing isn't right for that, I definitely have been considering nationals next year because it's right around this time. So it's 2 weeks away roughly from right now. So it'd be December 12th or 13th, the weekend of that weekend. That's also a great timeline for me to. that give me plenty of time to improve this year, and then also have some health phases in there, and then plenty of time to prep and get in shape. And then just pick a show before that. Maybe even the same show that I just did and won, the Elite Muscle Classic down in North Carolina. Maybe even do that one again, and then go into down to Dallas for nationals down there. But we'll see on the timeline. I just need to really look at the schedule and figure things out, map things out. That's another reason. Not necessarily going to have somebody coach me, but I'm going to have somebody help me map out like timelines and things like that. My boy Andrew, he just got his pro card this year in Classic Physique. Andrew Ooze. I'm going to have him just kind of be a second eye for me and oversee some of my stuff. Send him what I'm doing training-wise just so he can see and maybe help me make some adjustments there with just volume distribution or frequency distribution and how I'm breaking it all up. And then also just honestly being that second eye to check in and then somebody to bounce my ideas off of. Because at the end of the day, you do need somebody just to kind of talk things over with, make sure that you're not sounding crazy, because we can get an idea and run with it in our head, and having that voice of reason sometimes that's just an objective perspective on what you're doing is great. So he's always been a great friend and somebody that you can just bounce an idea off of or come at with any question. He's going to give you his best advice. So that's kind of the plan there, is to get on board with him just to have that second eye, essentially. Because I like to be hands-on with what I'm doing. I don't really want to just say, hey, tell me what to do to anybody, because half of the fun and love that I have for bodybuilding is doing all that stuff myself. Figuring it out. That's been some of the joy that some of the excitement that I have in bodybuilding is just doing all that, honestly doing that stuff on your own. And that's kind of why it's been hard for me to stick. I've had one coach, but then it's been hard for me to get back on board with anyone else after. He was a great coach. No knock on him whatsoever. I'm still in touch with him. We're still in good standing. But I think that's why it's hard for me to have a coach, is just because I genuinely love bodybuilding in all aspects of it. There was a point in time where I just wanted to focus on training and not really worry about all the other stuff. But then once all the other stuff also became kind of second nature to me, and I could just, take a few minutes to think things over, make rational decisions and keep going, I'm able to just really focus on perfecting training now. And I know exactly what I'm doing with, when I need to increase food, when I need to pull back, things like that. But really that second eye is what helps a ton. Just having somebody on the outside saying, hey, you're too fat. Let's go ahead and it's time to pull down, or you're still in a good spot. Like, you're totally fine. Because I feel like anytime my composition starts taking too much of a hit, I immediately want to just, not even too much of a hit, but as soon as visuals aren't to my liking a little bit, I'm ready to start dieting. So that's where I really am going to need somebody in this time. I really, honestly, the contest prep, I know what I need, where I need to be, and what I need to look like to be stage ready. So honestly, that part's not even too hard. It's more so the pushing up part, like where do you stop, that kind of thing. Because my entire journey has been get shredded. So now, that part's second nature, to figure out where I need to be and how I need to look when I'm shredded. Obviously, I want to master bringing that fullness to the stage and all that with the peeled look, and not have to sacrifice any fullness at all. But yeah, that's the plan going forward, man. Super pumped. Training is, like I said, it's been feeling great. Joints are just a little creaky. So, but we've got some things in place to fix that up. Here you see these shoulder presses. I had a great push day this day, man. Energy was feeling great. Super high. You can see I'm going a little faster here, not quite as slow, but it's all on the shoulders still. I'm just kind of smoking them out. A little pumpy dumpy right there coming on. Man, I feel like I already look way bigger than this just from 2 days of like eating some super high calories, really filling out. I was probably about 259, 258, 260, somewhere in here. And then after Thanksgiving and then back to the meal plans, I've held at, I was like 272 or something like that. And then today, this morning when I woke up, I was 270. So trying to get that to stick a little bit because I honestly, the look is not bad at all at 270. So we're going to increase calories a bit to see if we can maintain that and just kind of hold right there and keep composition as tight as we can at around that weight, maybe a little higher. If it starts going up a little bit, that's totally fine too. Just going to make sure that training's still improving and composition is staying relatively tight. Love this chest press as well right here. This is a pin loaded Body Master. And this, you could actually adjust the pin to let the handle slide deeper, like, get a deeper contraction on it. And so it was perfect. And so posing here, a little most muscular. Let's see, front double. Not bad. Yeah, I think I said actually in the post I put on Instagram, I think I was around 260 right here. A little shadowy here, but I didn't want to be right in the middle of the damn gym just posing down. So I was trying to be mindful of everyone else that was in there. So I kind of went over to the corner. But yeah, man, love this gym. I'm going to continue to train there. Back double right there. Back lat. Oh, missed it. Back lat. Boom. Excuse me. A little ab and thigh action. Boom. Yeah, come up a little closer here and hit a couple more shots. Boom. Not mad about it. Honestly, in these, now that I've filled out even more and see what I'm at today with my posing from today, you'll see in this next video coming up, much more filled out. But love y'all.